the experience that I had abroad as not a way to make a decision where I want to be, but as something that makes me not want to make a decision. Like seeing what it was like abroad, now I'm like, well, that was different. I don't know all these other countries in the whole world that I really want to see and know more about. So just seeing what it was like and seeing that it was different, whether I liked it more or less than America, is not so much an issue as I need to see now what else is there, because if that could be so different, what about all these other places? So I think my decision for after college is just to keep exploring new places and see where that goes.
I'd love to go back again. I met some great people. My job was great. I mean, there were good days and bad days, as I'm sure you all know. It's not easy to live in a different culture, but it gave me a new perspective on what it might be like to come here as an international student and just the obstacles that you face every day. I mean, every day is an adventure.
Coming here after my undergraduation, I worked for 2 years in India. So I can literally compare the work culture here and in India. And I really liked it. I mean, I really loved it. So I think I would like to have work experience in the United States for a couple of more years and apply for management.
That was nice. I didn't feel like I was, you know, the American. I mean, I was the only person whose native language was English, but I don't think it really reflected poorly or gave any like stereotypes, at least that I know of. I mean, maybe, but it wasn't perceived. I didn't perceive it that way.
In general, about American lifestyle, like there's a lot of portrayal in the media about how Americans do their life, and I think Boston is not really representative for America at all. So that's one of the reasons why I chose Boston, because I think it's a diverse city. So it's not what my stereotypes about the typical American lifestyle were. But
the best thing that you can do to prevent having stereotypes is just to listen to what everyone has to say and ignore all the details. Just kind of listen to the bigger picture as to what are the main themes people agree upon. And then as soon as you figure out what those are, just completely forget that you heard them in the first place, and then just go and experience it. I mean, you can have these things as background, background knowledge or static in the background to kind of keep you informed, but I don't advise looking through rose-tinted glasses. So I'm sure that interaction was beneficial.
Sounds like my experience was a little different, at least compared to theirs, where they said they were the only Americans that a lot of people have met. And down in Costa Rica, there are a lot of Americans now, and tourism's getting huge down there. So instead of coming from a situation where people are like, who are you, how are you, like, what's your life, like, a lot of people went in assuming that they, knew something about you because they've met, hundreds of tourists or, people from all over the U.S. and stuff. So I did get a little bit more stereotyped, I think, than other people, it sounds like, because just the culture down there with all the tourism and stuff, it interacts a lot with American culture. And a lot of people, I mean, they all thought you had money and were there to have fun and didn't take much too seriously because you're, fun-loving American and, who's there to spend money and stuff. Whereas, like, I was there volunteering, I was trying to help out, I was trying to get to know the culture, I was trying to be a part of the culture where they were used to people from the U.S. who came down there and bought a house on the coast and then never spoke to a local again.
There was a grocery store that was 2 minutes from my work, and in the morning, one morning I didn't have any bread, so I wanted to get bread for breakfast. And I walked in, it's maybe 7:15. I went back, I picked up an apple, and this girl comes running at me, talking to me in Swiss German, but this was, I had been there for 3 weeks. And so I didn't understand anything she was saying, and all she kept doing was holding up 8 fingers. And I was like, okay, 8, I don't know what you're telling me, you're asking me. And I was like, I'm sorry, I only speak English. And then another man came over and he's like, we're not open until 8. So I was like, oh, sorry, okay, and I put my apple down and I walked out. But for me, there were cars all parked in the front. The sliding doors opened when I walked in. There were people in the store. Apparently they were all workers, but I didn't know, so.
In my office, it was all Turkish teachers, and there were 3 Turkish teachers and then me. And so when we first got there, everyone around us was speaking Turkish the whole time. And it was a little frustrating. And then as the months went on, we realized that they were actually nervous to talk English in front of us. It wasn't that they were just being rude or didn't want to talk to us or anything. They were nervous that we were going to judge them and, you know, get mad if they mess up on something, which is completely ridiculous because they know so much more English than we do Turkish. And I've got the travel bug now because I just want to get out of the United States again, just to experience more places. And I'm graduating now, and I've even considered trying to get a job abroad internationally because I just really have enjoyed both of my experiences abroad, and they're both really different, but I still learned so much.